Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build, and this is going to be a one-story family home. It's only a 2-bedroom house, but I thought it'd be fun to create something that was one story because I don't do that too often unless it's a starter home. Or a few months back, I had created a one-story house, but it was like a massive house, so I thought it'd be kind of a fun idea to create a smaller home here. We are building on the Water Tower Way lot in Copperdale. This is one of my favorite lots. It always hurts a little to destroy the house that's originally here, which is one of the default lots in high school years that Ash and their family live in, because it's one of the houses I built for high school years. So it always feels a little weird demolishing it, but I think it was worth it because I think this is such a fun lot to build on. So I really hope you will enjoy this build as well. If you do and you'd like to download it, it is available in the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find that under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. So you can see I'm starting to get too close to the final shape of this house. I was very indecisive because I knew it was going to be a simple shape, but I didn't want it to look odd. I was just trying to make it look like a cute little house, but still be pretty simple. And I really wanted to use these windows from Get Famous. They're some of my favorites in the game, and they just look so nice. And I also really wanted to pair them with some of the shutters that came with the Horse Ranch expansion pack. So just playing around with that and also changing the colors on the outside so many different times. I didn't end up keeping the shutters in the end because I thought it looked nicer to have this awning over this particular window. That one is from Cats and Dogs. And I am just playing around with all of those swatches, and I changed the front door as well. I end up using one from Growing Together, which is so pretty. I really love that pack. And this is where I'm changing the swatch of the exterior so many different times. I thought I'd keep that in because it's nice to see the indecision sometimes. But there is that front door I had mentioned. And then over here, I end up adding a little garage space as well, which inside is kind of decorated like a garage. You'll see that when we get to it. But just drawing out our driveway and our walkway to the front of the home. And I end up using just a decorative garage door. It's the one from City Living that your Sims can draw murals and stuff on. And I also got some really pretty flowers. I just wanted this to look like a really cute, simple, like suburban home. It's on the smaller side, but I thought having the flowers was a nice touch. And I don't use those ones too often. They are from Discovery University, I'm pretty sure. And then just doing a little bit of landscaping. We don't have a lot of space on this lot, so I just added a couple of plants. I'll go back towards the end of the build and add a couple more, but for right now, it's just like a couple of shrubs and a tree off to the side of the lot. And I believe we get there's a bush over here as well. And then starting to work on the floor plan. This was an interesting one because I really didn't know where to put things for a while. Mostly over on the left side of the build, I struggled with it. But it does come together, and I was quite happy with the floor plan. There ends up being a good-sized living room. The kitchen, I think, is quite cute, and I like that you enter in on a platform and you step down into the kitchen. I thought that was nice, and I was so happy to be able to fit 2 bedrooms in this space. That isn't something I thought I was going to be able to do at first, but it came together in the end. I did end up using these base game cabinets over here. They're just some of my favorites, and whenever I'm trying to do like a regular-looking house, like any kind of family home, they seem to be the most realistic to me just because personally, I feel like I don't know anyone that has like a nice modern updated house. They all have older cabinets from like the 90s or the 80s, and they look like that. So that tends to be what I decide to grab if I decide to build something for a family that I want to look pretty average. So this is the floor plan I go for. There ends up being a little bit of a weird hallway here, but I ended up putting a staircase down into the basement. So while the house is one story, I thought it would be nice to include a basement space, which we'll decorate towards the end of the build, but that is where the staircase goes. It fit really nicely there. It helped split up the space. And then that like extra bit of hallway at the end, I create into an office area. So there ends up being a desk and a computer and stuff there, but just grabbing some doors now to lead into all of the different rooms. And I add a back door as well so that you can access the backyard. It ends up being very small, but we do have a fenced-in backyard, which I thought was quite nice. And then I am just trying to figure out what sort of wallpaper to put in here before we start decorating. I have some placeholder furniture to be like, this is what this room is going to be, but that's not what we're going to end up keeping in the end. Although some of it, like I said, I'm pretty sure I keep these cabinets in the kitchen, which is where we are going to start. I end up using the base game stove and fridge in here, which I just think are really nice, and they fit nicely under the cabinets. And then we are placing our sink, and I adjusted the windows so that way the sink could go right under the window because it wasn't fitting like that to begin with. And I just really like when I can have it that way. So yeah, just getting some of our appliances in here. I got a dishwasher. I also got a pizza maker. I think that's really fun. You might want to be careful though, because those are really known for catching fire. I think that's one of the appliances that catches fire the most often in The Sims. So maybe not the best choice for this house, but I thought it was a cute idea. And then we have a table with 3 chairs. I also put an electric box here in the kitchen. And then I opted to not have a range hood. And then I did put a couple of puddles around. I think it's pretty realistic to have some water spillage in the kitchen space, especially around the dishwasher. But that also seems really risky because dishwashers and the water problem, when your Sims go to fix it, it's quite possible that they could get electrocuted. So I just wanted to show the realism there. I also added a grill in the kitchen. I kind of scaled it down so it could be like a George Foreman type grill. And then we're getting a gallery wall over here. I thought this was really cute. And my favorite part is actually the fact that I added the tragic clown over here. It's such a cute painting. And if your Sims are feeling a little bit like lonely, he might be some good company. And then over here by the front door, I decided to use this radiator as sort of a shelf to put some extra stuff in. Luckily in The Sims, it's not too much of a fire hazard, but in real life, maybe not the best idea, but I thought it looked cute here. I also added a hose because we do have a few fire hazards in this house, so I thought that could be helpful for putting out some of those fires. Also, for some more company, I did put this little portrait here, which is actually a haunted portrait. I'm pretty sure that's from the Spooky Day stuff pack. So some more, company there, as well as this little doll. And I think she sometimes gets a little bit feisty and haunts the house a little bit too much. So we have these candies here to help keep her happy and not destroying everything. There's also another electrical box right next to the fire hose. Really safe things there. And then my favorite thing that I did, which I thought was really smart, I didn't want to have a fire alarm in this house, but I did build this over on Twitch first, and somebody in chat suggested that we could put a fireplace because if a fire starts, you could just take the fire and put it back in the fireplace, and then the fire's gone. So I thought that was a great idea. I also got a telescope outside if your Sims want to escape by getting abducted by aliens. And then here is our bathroom. It's a pretty simple, standard layout I do for a lot of my bathrooms, having the toilet straight ahead and then a wrapped around sink. I also am very aware of, I believe it was a Reddit thread years ago about someone who had a household knife that helped them with the plumbing issues they might have in their old house. So I decided that this household could have a scythe and a saw to help with those plumbing issues. So you can see that all being placed in here right now. And I also added some juice in here, some nectar, some wine, whatever you'd like to call it, because you're probably going to be dealing with those plumbing issues for a while. So just adding that in here, as well as a lamp, so you can have cozy, nice vibes in here. It just seems so relaxing. I really like how that bathroom came out. And then we're moving into the primary bedroom, which I was imagining was for an older couple. Unfortunately, the grandpa is no longer, or I always say grandpa, the husband is no longer with us. He may have perished in this exact spot during some woohoo with overexertion. So we keep his urn right there by the bed to remember him by. So this is grandma's bedroom, or the wife's bedroom. I think they have an older child that is living with them. I was thinking either maybe a teenager or young adult that is their child and they were recently becoming elders, or perhaps they have their grandchild with them. I guess it could be either one, which we'll get to their bedroom in a little while. But in here, I just have a wardrobe. I also have a photo of grandpa and his fishing trophies and pictures and all of that. And then this is going to be at the living room. I thought that this couch was super cozy. It's from Growing Together. And then I got a couple of rocking chairs, one for grandma and one that used to be grandpa's, but now it is belonging to this lovely lady right here. She really enjoys rocking in the chair and making it go a little bit too fast. It damages the walls sometimes. I also added another window in here, and we got a really pretty rug and a fun painting on the wall here, like a collection of paintings. I included Jerry because he's super important, and then, of course, getting another haunted painting. so that this household can have plenty of company and they don't feel lonely without the presence of Grandpa. I also did get a couple of bookcases here, and we have a shattered mirror in the hallway because that is such good luck to have a broken mirror. And then this is the area where I'm going to be adding that desk I had mentioned. So swapping out the rug in the bedroom first because I decided I wanted to use that one in the hallway. And then this is the area where that desk is going to be. I'm going to decorate that a little bit more later, but first we are decorating this kid or teen's bedroom. I decided they could have a Murphy bed because not only does that move out of the way so they have more space for activities, but this house is such a death trap for Sims already. Why not add another one? So I do have that Murphy bed in here, and I also have this little science station so they can work on science stuff. And of course, it might catch fire, so you might want to be careful about that. But I think this would be a really fun household to play in. I think it's quite a realistic one, and it has all of the things you would possibly need for a really safe, comfortable family home. And I love the idea of it. I had so much fun building this one. It was a blast to decorate this over on Twitch with everyone. And I thought that this room was really cute. So yeah, I just have some experiments going on over here. That's a table from Strangerville. And I should get a rug in here as well as a mirror. And that should be it for that room because I wanted to make sure there was space for the Murphy bed to come down. And then this is going to be the backyard space. It's going to be decorated after I do the living room or the office space, but I do fence it in. We have a nice, really tall fence there to make sure nobody can get in or out. And then there's another bookcase in this hallway. I got a computer, a place to hang up your coats and stuff by the back door, and a couple of storage cabinets with lots of files of like research. I don't know who's researching what. I mean, actually, I do kind of think it might be the kid. They seem to be interested in some sciencey things and experimenting, and I don't know what they're working on in their room, but I think it might have something to do with what's going on in the garage and what's going on in the basement. As you can see here, it seems like they are breeding cow plants that seem to be taking over this space. So there's a couple in the garage. I'm not sure if they started in the garage or started in the basement, but one of those is overflow. So I thought that would be a fun idea. Definitely a safe thing to have. Cow plants are not going to cause any damage whatsoever. They definitely don't eat your Sims. It's not a death type in The Sims. So yeah, just adding some more plants, and then we're going to be heading on into screenshots. So I really hope you enjoyed this build. Happy April Fool's Day to everyone. I had so much fun with this. This is my favorite video to make every year, and enjoy those screenshots. I will see you all on the next one. Bye, everyone.